Hello and welcome to News from the Cube. My name's Steve Ragg and I work with Chris here at Glenrose as a financial planner. As we're approaching the new tax year in April, we'd like to concentrate this time on ISAs. ISAs have changed considerably since they were launched several years ago, so we've put together our top 3 tips that we think you should consider. Our first tip is to use your ISA allowance. The current ISA allowance for the 2015-16 tax year is £15,240, and that remains unchanged for the 2016-17 tax year. Anyone who hasn't used their full allowance can top up before then and also use their new ISA allowance in one visit, therefore making the most of the next tax year by making sure that your ISA is invested in full from day one. Our second tip would be for those who have only invested in cash ISAs in the past. You can of course invest in stocks and shares or investment ISAs as well, but something that's put people off doing that in the past is the fact that you can only transfer from cash ISA to stocks and shares ISA. Well, now things have changed and you can transfer that money back into a cash ISA at any point should you think you're going to need it in the not too distant future. Something to remember, of course, is that any money that is in an ISA already and is transferred between cash and stocks and shares, or the other way around, doesn't count towards your £15,240 annual allowance. Our third tip would be that ISAs are now much more flexible in respect of withdrawals. Until recently, any money withdrawn from an ISA couldn't be replaced and therefore did reduce the amount that you can put in any single tax year. However, any money now withdrawn from an ISA can be replaced in the same tax year and therefore does not affect the amount of your allowance. So that's our 3 tips for ISAs. If you've got any other questions, please get in touch with either myself or Chris here at Glenrose.